I'm David Turner from Turner Bicycles, and we're here in Las Vegas, 2009 Interbike. We're going to start off talking about the Sultan today. This is the second year we've done the DW Link. We kind of shocked a bunch of people last year here at Interbike by changing over the big part of our line, including the Sultan, to the DW Link suspension system. Basically, you know, two closely spaced pivots near the junction of the main frame and the rear end, and then of course we have two more pivots up here, creating a type of 4-bar, or some people call them mini links. In this case, Dave Weigel, DW, is the engineer and the man that studied the physics on where to put these links, how long each of them are, and their relationship to each other, the rear wheel, the bottom bracket, probably a couple other things he doesn't want to tell me about. As the designer of the bike, I give Dave this huge bunch of information on the type of bike that I'd like this to be, including chainstay lengths, wheel travel, shock lengths, top tube lengths, sizes available, head angle, seat angle, everything but the color. And he also wants to know the wheel size, because that does affect how close the tire will end up to the seats, tube, and on and on and on. So this year, not a lot of changes, obviously all new last year. This year, big change was the medium now has a straight top tube. I know, real exciting. For some it is. The other is we're now painting the rear ends on all of our bikes, for those that select paint, the same color as the front end. I know it's a big shock to some. Turner Bikes for years has always done polished rear ends and painted triangles unless paid to do otherwise. So those are really the big changes for 2010. This bike is a 120 millimeter, a 4.7 inch travel, 29 inch wheeled bike. This is a little outside the norm of most 29 inch wheeled bikes that are available. Most are shorter travel or hardtails. But being a trail bike company, I thought that we should create the Sultan frame to take advantage of the longest cross-country forks commonly available on the market, which in this case is the Fox 120 millimeter float with the QR15, which is a type of a through axle, and which with these bigger wheels, every little bit of rigidity that we can get out of the whole chassis helps the bike track better. One thing that we're not trying to do with any of our bikes is we're not trying to be the lightest product on the market. We're in the durable goods business. We want our products to be out there years after everybody else's have been mothballed. So our bikes are tougher, they ride nice and stiff, they're good for people that value the quality of the ride instead of just the initial bling on the scale when they bought it at the shop. Last year, one thing that I think we were one of the first companies, if not the first U.S. company, to go to a post-mount rear brake system. Since all the brake makers today have the post-mount calipers, the way that they're attached to the rear of the bike is through an adapter. And that's just 2 extra bolts and a hunk of aluminum that's unnecessary in my mind. So we went with that, and it's been met with a 2 thumbs up for the last year, so we're not changing that. As usual, Turner's pivots on the Sultan, the 5-spot, the Flux are all journal bearings, or as some call them, bushings. In other words, there's no little steel balls inside those pivots to help the rear end go up and down. We use a Kevlar composite running on a hard anodized aluminum shaft. And in addition to the grease fittings that we have on each pivot, we're getting anywhere from 3 to 5 years before anybody ever needs to spend any money on rebuilding our pivot system. And that's the low number there would be in a wet condition, not typical Southern California or Southwest dry conditions either. In dry conditions, most people never have to rebuild their bikes, just re-grease them occasionally. The 29 momentum, that's pun intended, seems to be gaining as of recently. We noticed mid-summer that more calls were asking about Sultan, so I'm thinking that maybe the early adopters, the core Sultan crowd, if you will, have now had a great influence on their friends, and some of these friends are now starting to hunt down some large wheeled bikes with suspension anyway. So we're starting to feel that, and pretty excited about that.